Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Ryan Rice. If I have a hard time getting through this video, I'm tired. I've been doing a lot of work, so just be patient with me on this one in case I start stuttering or whatever. On this episode, we're gonna get this kayak up on the ceiling because I need to be able to pull my trailer in here. And we're gonna do it with a little hoist that we just opened up. We got for $56. I'll leave a link in the description for $56 from Amazon. So, being that we're under a time restraint and I don't have time to build my own, we're going to try this out for $56. And we're going to see if it picks up. Right now, even unrigged, I think my kayak, I would probably put in about the 140-ish pound range. This lift's rated for 150. I don't like being right on the edge with things, but this is pretty much the strongest lift I could find in this price range. And the reason why I gotta get it up on the ceiling is because I pull my trailer in here. And I was just thinking about leaving, two kayaks on my trailer at all times. But like my wife says, the world we live in now, unfortunately, we can't trust anybody. So I would probably come back to a empty trailer with no kayak on it, even if I put a lock on it. With cordless grinders and everything today, it's so easy to steal things. So unfortunately, I got to go through this headache. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad headache, but I have to go through this just so I don't lose it, and I'm out in the water with my other kayak. So stay tuned. Let's see if this $56.70 lift is worth it for you guys to buy and try for yourself. So I've been thumbing through the instructions. I've done pulley systems before, but obviously you just have a side that is really just a pulley, and then you have a side that has like a built-in brake. Now the brake side of this, I'm going to put at the farther wall there because I'm going to, come over here, pull on the ropes and mount the the brake would be there, but the rope would be tied off over here. So I'm going to have the brake in on this side. And the main thing, this is a pretty simple thing to do, but the main thing I would suggest, because I never use the hardware that comes with these things because A, it's always cheap. So I would get yourself your own lag bolts. We got some here that have a 5/16 head. They also have like those large screws now at the big box stores that's like replaces lag bolts. I had some of these laying around because I actually had to take shelving down to get this to go up anyway. So I'm just going to use what I had here, but I do have boxes of, they're like a Torx head. It's supposed to replace lag bolts, but use your own hardware. It's, spend a few bucks on better hardware than what comes with this stuff because the hardware that comes with this is always cheap. And it strips out easy, it breaks easy when you're using an impact gun, etc. So use your own hardware. And another main thing of putting a pulley system up is obviously you got to get into the structure of your garage. You need to find your beams. I do the old tap rule. I tap on the ceiling, and then when I hear it's hollow, when I hear it's solid, I know where the beam is. That's how I've been doing it for my whole life since I've been doing electrical. That's how when I used to stake walls, that's how I found beams. But you can find a stud finder. You can get a stud finder and find, mark out the beams on your ceiling. One thing I did read on this, on the instructions real quick, I just want to get just a brief overview, is the equation that they have. So if you have a 10-foot kayak, they say multiply it by 0.4. So you'd want to have the straps 4 feet apart. This is about 14 feet. It's about 13.8, the Hobie PA 14. So I just did, 14 times 0.4, and it comes out to 5.6. So we'll keep the, the pulley systems basically, where the ropes are going to be coming down, where the straps are going to go around this. I'm going to keep them about 5.5 feet apart, and that's where we're going to do it. And obviously you're going to want to, get somewhat of a straight line on your ceiling where you want to put it and go up, see where your studs are, find your first one. Most of your framing studs, whether it's, ceiling, whether you have trusses in your house or you have traditional framing, it's either going to be 24 inches apart most likely if you have trusses. And if you have normal framing of a house, it's usually 16 inches apart. So once you find one, 16 inches over will be another one, 16 inches over will be another one, etc. So, our main goal right now is we're going to find our first stud. I probably want the kayak to sit about right here, so it's in between the garage door frames. I'm going to go up. I know there's an outlet there, so there's probably a beam that runs right down the middle this way anyway, or they're going to go perpendicular. I don't know which way they're going to go yet, but we're going to find our first beam, and then we'll measure back 5.5 feet, so every 16, I might have to do a little bit longer, maybe 6 feet to find the stud, and we're gonna get our pulleys, lined up straight here. Once we do that, we work the ropes through the pulleys, just follow the instructions on that, and basically it's gonna be 2 ropes, 2 sets of ropes that are gonna work in parallel with each other on the pulleys, and you're gonna pull it back, and then you can pull straight down and let go a little bit, and that brake will engage, and that's going to hold the kayak up, and then you just use the cleat that's supplied with the kit to tie the rope off to the wall. Now, if you're worried about something failing on this, you could always just take your own webbing if you want around it, just to screw into a beam and come across, and maybe use like a ratchet strap and put 2 eyelets that you could just put an extra strap there just for security if you feel like to. I have a feeling this will be fine. If I come home and it's, sitting on top of my trailer and it fell off the ceiling, at that point, I will probably invest my time into building it the way I would, because I overbuild everything anyway. Look at our buddy over at Wendell's Fishing. He has a little video I saw him put out not too long ago. He built his own lift that comes up on, I think, took some 2x material, probably a sheet of plywood, and he tied in the 4 corners, and he's got a motorized lift that takes up 2 kayaks that keeps above his garage door. He just, lowers it down, and you can slide onto the roof, onto his trailer, etc. So if this does not work out and, or it fails, I will invest the time and find the time to do this. But right now, I just need to get this done so I can get my trailer back over here, so my wife can park back in her garage. She likes parking in the garage and staying out of heat. I don't blame her. She has the luxury of doing that. And this is the first time she's actually able to do that, so I have to give her a garage and let her keep her other side. This is our little, she gave me the little section of the garage. So, I want to get this done because I need to go to North Carolina for work, and she's away right now, so I'm trying to get this done real quick and get that trailer back over here. And that's why we're doing this. And I just figured I'd do the video for you guys, because for $56, if this thing works, it's good for everybody, and it's cost effective. So let me go find the beams. I'm gonna get the pulleys mounted. All right, so we got a beam right there, right next to the outlet box, like I assumed. I'm hoping it goes straight back, and we'll probably use that. It's gonna have to be over a little bit farther than I want, but I just want to make sure I'm on a beam here, but I'll still make this work with the straps coming down and all that. So we're going to get this screwed in. And if you read the instructions, there's like a little cobweb there. If you read the instructions, there's like a little eye loop here. That's where you're going to tie a knot into, or the rope has a knot into it or whatever built in. So that's why you want to keep that end facing that way when you screw it in. So I end up moving it over because where it was before next to the outlet there, I would have to have it like over my desk, and I want to keep my desk where it is that I usually do my filming for you guys. So we end up moving over here. I think I'll be all right with clearing the garage door with the kayak, the support for the garage door. So we moved it over. It keeps it in more of a clear spot for us to get this just off the trailer, or somebody helping me get it off the trailer onto the ground and just line it up here. So we got about 5.5 feet between it. We measured off the wall. It's about 44 inches. And we're going to mount the next one. They're just plastic pulley wheels. I mean, it's a $56 lift, but I know it's going to work. So now I'm going to get the rope intertwined between it, following the instructions, and we'll get that rope on there, and we will get it lowered down with the straps. Now this kit I got is made for a 14-foot ceiling. I think my ceilings are probably about 12. So I wanted to get the extra kit. They have 2 kits that go for like 10 foot and 14 foot. We're gonna get this rope intertwined, and we'll be back. So I got the ropes worked through. It's actually like a 2-rope system on this end. So when you loop it through, and then you got your brake on that side. So you gotta kind of put tension on it to brake, to be able to engage the brake on both sides. But they tell you, comes with this strap that you put in between. I'm just kind of getting used to it here. I guess gives it a set, but you really just want to put the pulley system over the top. And obviously the more you use this, the more you'll get used to it, the easier it'll be. But they give you this strap that they put in between to, basically keep, these things spread out. but it comes really long, I guess, based on depending on how long your setup is. So being there's so much strap here, I'm actually going to cut some of this because I definitely don't need all that. And you just get your kayak or whatever you plan on hoisting up, you know, underneath where the pulley system is, and then you got to work this strap through the bottom of this pulley, and it just kind of intertwines in between this and goes back through. And they say you want to keep the cam buckle facing up, obviously, so you can tighten it up. And you're gonna have to work it around the kayak. And I think I got this backwards. No, I don't. So you want to work that through. Obviously, you're going to have to get this worked around the kayak. So I would leave the buckle so it's a bit towards your pulley here, so you'll be able to tighten it down. So I would pull that through, and then work your strap underneath the kayak. And like I said, you know, the more you use this, the more you get used to it. Now, another question somebody may ask: is it okay to store your kayak hanging off of straps? I don't think it's a problem. The way I see these, the dealers and stuff do this, and the way they store kayaks, and I mean, it's probably not ideal. It's probably better off still being flat, I would say. But you know, it's not going to be hanging up there for, you know, years at a clip. It's more or less, you know, temporary storage for in between. We're going to do the back. Do the same thing for the back. Like I said, the more you do this, including myself, the faster you'll be at it. You know, this is our first time using it. So let's get this, I'm going to get the back strap set up. You know, just follow the instruction. It's pretty much cut and dry how this goes in. And then we're going to give this thing a test run. So I just started doing a test run just real quick a little bit before I showed you on camera. But I did notice, though, that I ended up twisting up my rope here. So obviously it's going to make it harder. Because I started pulling up on this. I'm like, wow, a little heavier than I thought. I mean, 150 pounds off a skinny rope may be tough, but I think our main problem is that we got the rope twisted here on this pulley system, and it's just binding up. So we're going to lower it down as it comes crashing down. Get it adjusted. It's going to take some effort to get this up. If it's really, really hard over and over again, you know, I'll do a long-term review of this. But I think once I get this here done, your main thing is, obviously you don't want, it's a 2-rope system. You don't want to let go of this rope because it will come crashing down. But to engage it, or to degage or release the brake, you got to have the rope straight down. To engage it, you just kind of come back at an angle, and that brake will pull up tight and hold the ropes. But we're going to get this thing adjusted, and I hope it's a little easier than what I just started testing here. And I'll let you guys know. So I got the rope, you know, I got the pulley going straight the way it should. But I can see where people are saying this rope is a little thin because, you know, it's a lot of weight. Now, if your kayak's probably in the 80, 90 pound range, it probably won't be bad. But taking up almost 140 pounds with skinny rope, you probably want to use gloves because it does take a lot of effort. I'm going to say that. It's not for the faint of heart. But you can see it does pull up. You got to hold the rope. And I would definitely say, do it in increments. You know, let the rope come back, let the brakes engage. You can see we are suspended. We are getting there. And being it's a 2-rope system, you can use one rope to adjust it and get it sitting level. Right, we're going to go up again. Come back on an angle, take a break. Let those brakes engage. And you can see I'm wrapping my hand around the rope a few times, and I'm actually using my weight to pull it down. So you're watching this live. If it breaks and lands on me and I die, you'll see it on camera. So it's not horrendous, but it does take some effort for sure. I kind of wish you could like go behind it and pull it and almost like do a tug of war, but you got to kind of be straight down to disengage the brake and get them lined up together and pull down. So I'm looking now, that may be high enough. Maybe. I'm going to go measure the trailer. I'll be right back. All right, that should be high enough. So that was my first time doing that. You watched it together with me. You know, one good thing about your kayak being suspended, you can check how bad it is. I got some nice gouges underneath here, but it still floats. I gotta get my rudder up a little higher too. You know, I would say it works. You know, for $56, it definitely works. I'm waiting for it to fall on my head. It's not easy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not easy. You watch that together with me. I'm 230 pounds right now. So, you know, it's not a lot to pull down, but it does take some effort. You're going to want to be either, you know, on the stronger side, heavier side where you can use your weight to get it down. And the ropes, you know, hurt a little bit, not a lot. Now what we got to do is just come back here, and it comes with a cleat. We got to mount it to the wall and put it back there. Long-term storage, in my opinion, it's probably okay, but you are kind of compressing the sides a bit with the straps, as you know, it's basically holding itself up. So these straps here are going to get tight and maybe pull against the side of your kayak. This is a heavy kayak. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely a heavy kayak, the Hobie PA. You know, the Nucanoe that I got now too, that's a lot lighter than this, and it would probably go up a lot easier. I'm going to be using the Nucanoe more, and this is going to be up. This is probably going to be, let me rephrase that. I'm going to be using the Nucanoe for a little bit, but until I can afford the motor, that's just going to be, the Nucanoe is just going to be for me and my son to go out on occasionally, but I will be back to using the Hobie primarily as my full-time kayak until I can get a motor on the Nucanoe. Once I get a motor on the Nucanoe, then the Nucanoe, believe it or not, is going to be my full-time kayak. I like the simplicity of it. No fins, no rudders, none of that stuff. It's going to have the motor on it with foot control steering. It's got a quick release from Nucanoe with their EPS system, but we'll get into that when we do that, finish that build out. But, you know, the Nucanoe is going to go up a lot easier. I would probably say 100 pounds or lighter of a kayak, it would be a lot easier to get up. This is doable. So for $56, it does hold a Hobie to the ceiling. It pulls it up. Back to what I was saying before, I know I get distracted. The straps, you know, that pressure, the weight of the kayak itself and pulling against that kayak, I would say, you know, it's probably not ideal for long-term storage. You know, especially in a hot garage. You can see my strap here is a little twisted. You know, in a hot garage where that plastic can get soft and you start sucking it in and start deforming your kayak. For, you know, paddle boards, the Nucanoe or 100 pounds or less, I feel would be fine. But to get this on the ceiling, when I get a little extra time, I may be building my own system, probably a platform that the Hobie can sit flat on, and we'll raise it up that way. Or I do have some other thoughts down the line, because I'm always thinking about, you know, what's better. But I'm not going to get into that, because if my wife sees this video, she'll probably think I'm nuts, and she'll probably spank me for my next idea, what I want to do. But if that happens, that'll be a whole nother video. Keep you on the edge. Does it work for $56? Yes. Is it hard to get up? It takes some effort. Would I buy it again and recommend it to you guys? Absolutely. Just long-term storage is my only concern with the weight of the straps against this. It's probably okay if you bring it down weekly, bring it down once a month. But if you keep this thing up there for a year, I just have a feeling that, you know, the pressure of those straps coming in could deform your kayak. So it works. I'm going to leave a link in the description for this lift. I got through it. You guys watched me do it for the first time myself. You can see it took me a little bit to get that up there. I'm clearing my trailer. My wife can get back in her garage, and I'll bring the trailer back over, and then this will be suspended off their ceiling for now. And as we flip-flop between the two kayaks, between the Nucanoe and this, I'll be switching them up. Down the road, there's going to be a different system or something else in the works to store our kayaks. So as always, guys, I hope you guys liked this video. I tried to make it quick, give you my honest opinion about this $56 lift. It works. It's not hard to install. Just only things I recommend is using your own hardware, and probably putting a pair of gloves on when you go to pull this up if your kayak's heavy, just so it doesn't hurt your hands. My hands are like leather. But I would definitely suggest using a pair of gloves. I can see where people are commenting that the rope's a little thin. Well, what do you expect for $56? So, as always, guys, it works. So if you guys want to suspend your kayak for $56, I'll leave the link in the description for this lift. It's rated for 150 pounds. It just takes a little bit of effort to get up there. So as always, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you guys on the water. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it doesn't fall on me.